I saw this story and I loved it. Donald Trump, last night, I mentioned that I watched the Sean Hannity. I thought it went well. Iowa town hall with President Trump. And Trump said I believe it was in the Iowa town hall with Hannity. It might have been earlier in the day in Iowa, but I think it was the town hall. Trump said, as a way to ridicule and mock men who decide to identify as women, Trump said he would love if LeBron would decide to become a woman and he could coach LeBron in the women's basketball and go find 4 or 5 other guys, and they would create, he said he would be the greatest women's basketball coach of all time. And, like when you really think about it, it's absurd that this could ever have become a reality, but I think that's going to happen at some point, and that the money might well dictate that it makes sense. Remember, only 30 guys get drafted every year in the NBA, and only around 450 guys get to play in the NBA, right? It's a relatively small collection of basketball players. So what if you are the 1,000th best men's basketball player in America right now? You're right at 1,000, let's say. You're on the periphery. Maybe you can play in Europe. You certainly have no real chance to make the NBA, but you're still an elite level talent. What's the way that you could make the most money as the 1,000th best men's basketball player in America? Decide you're a woman. Because the 1,000th best men's basketball player would be the greatest women's basketball player of all time. You would be able to easily average probably 30 and 20 in the WNBA. If you are one of the 1,000 best men's players in the world, you would be orders of magnitude better than every single WNBA player. You would be the greatest women's basketball player of all time. And if you were a dude pretending to be a woman, just look at Dylan Mulvaney making millions of dollars just by being a dude pretending to be a woman. Would have never made $1 in advertising if he wasn't a dude becoming a woman, which is why the ultimate misogyny is not like, arguing about men versus women. It's a man deciding to become a woman and then becoming the greatest woman to ever do something. It's a lie. It's completely artificial. But right now in our world, there are millions of dollars a year to be made for a man who was willing to do this. You don't even have to cut your penis off. And you get to go into a women's locker room and just get to look at naked chicks and change all the time. There's really a very limited cost here. Now, certainly you have to be willing to abandon all principle and all masculinity, but if you're the 1,000th best men's basketball player, or even the 800th best, or the 700th best, whatever it is, you would still be able to make, let's say you could make, 75 or 80K, maybe, playing overseas in Europe. I'm not even sure that you could get that, but let's say you could. Or you could make millions pretending to be a woman in the WNBA. That's where we are. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to look at those finances and say, okay, I'm willing to pretend to be a chick for millions of dollars. It's where we're headed. Look, it is where we are headed. Save this video. I'm telling you it's coming. And not only that, you'll be called heroic, and you'll be called the greatest women's basketball player of all time.